So how we're going to do this tier list, we're going to start with the most recent COD, and we're going to go all the way back to the beginning of what got most people into competitive COD, which would be Black Ops 2. So let's start with Vista. Vista on Modern Warfare 3. The DLC maps that they added to MW3 are good, and this one is just for Hardpoint, but I wouldn't say this is the best Hardpoint map ever made. A solid B tier for Vista. L Take? We're already getting L Takes? We just started. Subbase. Modern Warfare 3, my least favorite map in MW3. This is just going straight up D tier. Not a good hardpoint map, I'm sorry. Rio is a good hardpoint map, but for S&D, it's a little bit straightforward, kind of just hitting lanes, especially with smokes. I do like that they added it. It was good DLC. It's going with Vista and B tier, I'm sorry. Invasion, hardpoint alone on this map is going to make me put it F tier, but S&D and Control are not that bad, but it's still not good. Invasion's going into D. Every time I load in on Invasion, I'm just wondering, what am I doing here? High Rise. I'm a little bit weird and I like this map in Control, but in S&D, it's just not that good. It's really not that good. I'm going C. That's our first C tier map is High Rise. Karachi, one of the few maps. Is this the only map that does all three modes for competitive? Hardpoint, Control, and S&D? It's got to have props for that, right? In that case, I think Karachi's going B tier, and it's kind of iconic. It's not the best map to play on, but I think just like in terms of the eye test, I see Karachi, I put it in B. 6-star, personally, I like 6-star. Kind of contradicting myself because 6-star S&D is not half bad, but it's very one-dimensional. It has the same problem as Rio. You kind of just like hit A or hit mid. I think 6-star is going B. They kind of like took aspects of what made Raid work and put it into 6-star, even though it is officially not a Raid remake. It kind of is. I think 6-star is a solid B and a good addition. What's with the yapping emote? I'm doing a tier list. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to yap. That's all of MW3, right? If I take MW3 as a whole, competitively, it's the best COD that we've had since Cold War. Despite how none of these maps finished A, MW3 2023 is an A tier COD. If you take out competitive, all the modes that they've added get high. The most content that we've had in a while. The weekly camos, MW3 is for sure an A. Now let's go to MW2. We got Mercado. Do I have hindsight bias or was this map good? Am I crazy for that? S&D, very nade heavy, very straightforward. But Hardpoint, I think we're going with our first A tier map, actually. Call me crazy, but I think our first A tier map is from MW2. Hydro, not the best map, but it's one of my favorites in terms of Hardpoint. I actually kind of liked Hydro. Some of the swimming routes were a little bit too overpowered. Like watching Shotzi play on Hydro, I only felt bad for the opponents because you can't keep track of anybody in the water. I think Hydro is going C tier. It's not going to stand the test of time. We're never going to see a Hydro remake, whereas I could see us having a Mercado remake for sure. Hotel, for sure the best map in MW2, right? Hotel's going A. Quick A. Hotel's a good map. Himmelmat, it was only a Control map. They put it in for S&D a little bit in ranked play and it didn't last. I think we're going C. El Asilo, S&D only. There's some fun sniper lanes, some fun rush routes. I do not have great memories of El Asilo. We're going D tier. El Asilo Control existed. I forgot. El Asilo Control was so bad, I just forgot that it was a thing. That just goes to show it's definitely D tier. Embassy, this is my favorite S&D map in MW2. Savi's favorite sniping map. Roll the clip.
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, no.
Dude, worm. Dude, Savi, what the
We lost that round. Stand by for the next one.
Sorry, Savi. Even though I do like Embassy, we're going down to C tier. Yeah, the last MW2 map, Albagra Fortress. Control on this map had probably the worst spawn trap of any Control map ever. There were times where teams would spawn up on offense and not leave their spawn. I think it's going in C. I do have one thing to say about MW2. The best part about MW2 was the maps. No dead silence other than the field upgrade, no red dots on the minimap, no sliding. Everything else about MW2 was bad. C tier. It would be D tier if some of these maps weren't decent. MW2 is staying in the C tier. All right, now we're on to Vanguard. Tuscan is without a doubt the best map that came from Vanguard. I think it's going B, which kind of tells you how I feel about Vanguard, that the best map is B tier. Gavutu, it might just be our first F. Either D or F, it's not going higher than D. Do y'all remember that glitch where the tank that was inside of the boat would just disappear? You could see completely through it like it was nothing. But like the spawn traps on this map, trying to win an offense when the control point is literally in their spawn, it's F. Our first F. Congratulations, Vanguard. You did it. Up next is Desert Siege. Search and destroy only. I'm insta-locking D. I'm not even going to overthink it or explain it. Y'all should agree with me. Siege is D. Bow Cage. Every time I spawned in on Bow Cage Hardpoint, I was excited. Because even a bad game on Bow Cage would be like 50 kills. You would finish like 50 kills and 50 deaths just because it was so mixy, but it was a ton of fun. It was just non-stop action. B. I'm okay with B. I think Tuscan is better as a whole, but Bow Cage Hardpoint was just so fun that you have to put it up there. The last Vanguard map, at least competitively, unless we're missing one, is Berlin. They added control in this one. Yeah, that's another 3-mode map. Not overthinking it we're going C. So that's all for the Vanguard maps. I think Vanguard's going in C tier with MW2. I hate to be that guy, not the best Call of Duty. Now we're going to Cold War. If you ask the pros, this is the best competitive Call of Duty that we've had in the past 5 years. My hot take about Cold War is if it weren't for the throwback maps, Cold War would be one of the worst CODs we've had in a long time. The throwback maps saved Cold War. Standoff. So I think we're all in agreement that once we get to Black Ops 2, Standoff will end up being an S tier map because it is. But in the context of Cold War, it's just not. Cold War Standoff, given that it was just S&D, we're going to have to put it in B tier. And I'm not upset at that. Before you get too mad, we're going to talk Black Ops 2 once we get there. Moscow, I'm going to say it, the best one that Cold War had. If they were to remaster any of the original Cold War maps, it would be Moscow. Insta-locking A. Now Miami, this one's going in the D tier for sure. S&D wasn't anything special. There was no true crosses that you could watch. Breaking through the garage was just miserable. Standy. Garrison. Harry Gary. This map is not good. I'm sorry. I know it's all 3 modes. Hardpoint, S&D, control. Plays awkwardly. Not very like bright and colorful. Garrison's going in D. Gary was rough. The tier list is not looking good? We're not even halfway through and you're saying it's not looking good? Oh, just wait till we get to IW. You're going to hate me. Express from Cold War for S&D. Probably the best S&D map we got from Cold War, right? I think we're going C tier. Or maybe B tier. I mean, it's Express. It's got the bones of Black Ops 2. I think we're okay with that. Crossroads. Crossroads wasn't bad. I don't like seeing it in C. Yeah, I can't put it in C. It's got to go D. Crossroads was only fun because it was small. Checkmate. It was for all 3 modes. I know people have fond memories of Checkmate. I did not like it. Putting a bomb site in a plane is just not a good idea unless it's terminal. Checkmate's going D as well. APOC, the last Cold War map that they added for Hardpoint. I also just don't have fond memories of this one either. I really don't. Maybe I just sucked at Cold War is what we're hearing, but APOC is going D as well. And that's it for Cold War. Cold War, I said it before and I'll say it again, it was saved by the remaster maps. If there weren't throwback maps in Cold War, it would be F tier. But even with the maps, I gotta put it in C. I'm sorry. It's just a mid COD. MW 2019. This is a very nostalgic COD for me. It's where I hit 10,000 subs. A lot of fun things in my life were going on in MW 19. The streams and the YouTube first started to take off then. Although not the most competitive COD, has a fond place in my heart. So likewise, some of these maps will. Unfortunately, we're starting out with Ramaza. I hated Ramaza, and I still do. So Ramaza is going straight into the D tier. Another bias that y'all will see with my MW19 takes is that I only played S&D. There was no ranked play. There was like a CDL mosh pit or something like that. I only played like wagers and competitive in the context of S&D. Piccadilly was not a bad S&D map. A lot of people hated this map just because of the layout. You were able to watch crosses if you jumped out towards the spawn. There were good nade spots. There were certain rush routes that could get you up in their base. I think we're locking in C tier. All right, St. Petrograd, MW19. I loved sniping the cross, like getting a collateral off the cross of St. Petro. For the rest of the game modes, I don't think this map did anything special. I know it was in Hardpoint. I don't remember if it was I think it was a domination map as well. Petra was not half bad, but it wasn't great. Are we going C or are we going D? Do I put Petra on the same scale as Desert Siege? Or do I put it on the same scale as Embassy? I'm landing on C. Congrats, Petrograd. Gunrunner, I think we can all agree. The best map for MW19, the only map that will end up in the A tier for model for 2019. I'm happy with Gunrunner at A. All right, Hackney Yard. S&D on this actually played pretty well. A map that on paper looks pretty straightforward. Was able to have some variety and some decent strats. C tier. Hackney and C tier. The Cave. Cave's going F. I did not like the Cave. And Arklov Peak is going B tier. I loved Arklov Peak. Being able to snipe up top in the spawn, looking down that lane, pushing river with a smoke. There's a lot of variety on Arklov. You could also go mid or you could flank like way deep right. We're locking in B tier for Arklov. Now I have to rate MW19. What do y'all think? What it did for the S&D scene was really iconic. It had integrated game battles, which was sick. What it did for the engine, movement, gunplay. It brought a lot of people back to Call of Duty that hadn't been interested in Call of Duty in a long time. I'm thinking B to B+. Now we get into Black Ops 4. I played a lot of S&D in this game as well. Maps like Seaside, I didn't get to play too much just because that wasn't in the S&D rotation for long. I still don't think Seaside is anything to write home about, and I'm totally happy putting it in the D tier. Payload, not a bad S&D map. We're locking in C tier. It did get kind of one-dimensional with everybody fighting for the mid-tube. I could agree with D as well. Hacienda, Black Ops 4. I would be very happy if they remade this. I have fond memories of Hacienda. Honestly, A. I don't have any complaints about Hacienda at all. It's a good map. Played well for S&D. I'm pretty sure it was there for the other modes as well. It's definitely not S tier, but it's up there. If they brought this back for Black Ops 6, that would be dope. Now, frequency. S&D on frequency got a little bit crazy. U area got pretty mixy, especially with SOGs and with shot punches, but not a bad map. I'm happy putting this in C tier. Gridlock, I don't like it, but I can't say anything bad about it. On paper, it's a good map. It's going in C tier as well. And Arsenal, this might be equally as iconic as Hacienda. Arsenal S&D played so well. I used to have a strat where I would go mid, shoot the glass, and then back out so I could quickly flank the right side of the map from here. Simps like sniping clip, the grapple gun thing where you can shoot and then snipe over that building was super cool. I have no complaints about Arsenal, and I'm happy putting it in A. And that's it. BO4, not my personal favorite Call of Duty. When I think back on it, some of these maps and some of the times that I had, especially on S&D, were a ton of fun. I think we're locking in B tier and B plus tier with Black Ops 4. I'd put that on the same level as Modern Warfare 2019. Here in World War II, we're gonna start out hot. And I'm sorry to the people this is going to offend. St. Marie is not a good map. I get it. It's 3 lanes. It's straightforward. But it just did not play well, in my opinion. Especially trying to use a sub. Like, you're really only useful in the bottom mid building. I'm staying C tier. St. Marie Dumont. Valkyrie was a DLC map they added for S&D. I didn't play enough of this map other than S&D to really know. D tier? It's not a bad map, but I just don't have enough experience with it to put it any higher. USS Texas. There was a lot of hate on this map. I won a game battles tournament on land. This is the map that took us to the victory. I think I have to lock C tier. I know that I have bias. I was thinking B. Just looking at the map in general, I think we gotta go C. Sorry, Texas. London Docks. It's pretty godlike map. Probably the best from World War II. I'm confident London Docks is B or above. I think we gotta go A tier, to be honest. Looking back, one of the quote-unquote classics from this time, Gibraltar. Gibraltar was fun for hardpoint. Yeah, S&D was bad. I think Gibraltar is gonna go C tier. Black Tower. Black Tower was... Oh, CTF. I forgot CTF was in this game as well. I only remember the Clayster clip.
All right, I'm nading over the big old gun. Looks like mud. 15-footer. Rapid.
And too much fun having on the United Comms.
That's a C tier map for sure. And then the last one from World War II, Arden Forest. Probably the best S&D map to come from World War II. London Docks is a good shout, but Arden Forest S&D played really, really well. So I'm happy with this in B tier. And now we're done with World War II. I still don't think that fondly of World War II. I don't think it did anything special. So World War II is going C tier. We're keeping C tier for World War II. We finally get to the jetpack CODs. I loved me some Infinite Warfare. I'm probably one of 12 people that will say that they loved Infinite Warfare. Throwback is a good map. 3 lanes, pretty much everything that you want for a competitive map. There's some fun wall runs on the barn side. It played well for hardpoint and S&D. And uplink was in this game too. Throwback uplink was, oh my god, bro. Throwback uplink alone, it's B or A. Throwback is a godlike map. I think I'm going A tier. I'm locking it in. We're just going to rapid fire all of Infinite Warfare. Scorch, D. Retaliation, B. Precinct. Optic won champs on this, so B. Frost, D. Crusher, C. Breakout, C. Infinite Warfare as a whole, I want to say it. It's an A tier COD. Infinite Warfare is A tier. People decided to hate IW when the trailer came out. They didn't play it and give it a chance. It is the best jetpack COD, if not tied with Black Ops 3. Competitive for IW was the most fun viewing experience, probably of all time. As a whole, we're going A tier. We can finally get into Black Ops 3, which I know a lot of y'all will be a lot more happy to talk about. Hunted is not it. I'm going D. Stronghold is probably one of the better competitive maps ever. Do we dare put it in A? I think we do. Redwood S&D, if y'all remember Tedwood, sniping spots and all that. I think we're going back-to-back A's. Redwood was such a cool map. S&D alone on Redwood, I don't even know if it was there for the other competitive modes. I don't even care. It was cool enough for S&D that it stays at A. Infection, also a decent map and kind of cool that it had that wall run up at the top where it glitches out. It also had the other side with that giant island. It's not up there with Stronghold. I think we can agree at B. Evac, there was a ton of wall runs, but for whatever reason, the out of the map wall runs on Evac don't hit the same as the Redwood ones. Evac was cool, but I'm confident that it's a C tier map. Fringe is pretty dang good. That's an insta-lock A. Fringe is a good freaking map. Is it bad I don't have an S tier map yet? Breach, uplink was cool on this map. The wall runs were cool for S&D. Breach was a C. And that's it for Black Ops 3. Honestly, I'm going to throw Black Ops 3 up at the A tier for Call of Duty. I think it's tied for best jetpack COD with Infinite Warfare, if not very, very close. In terms of the maps, the way the guns worked, the abilities. Ban and Protect was cool in theory, but in practice, it wasn't. All right, now in advance. Holy maps. Is this for real? 13 competitive maps? Recovery from Advanced Warfare. This is the one that flooded, right? Recovery is a D tier map. Retreat is one of the better Advanced Warfare maps. I would put that in B tier. I would put that in my top 3 maps to go back and play. Terrace was good too, so I'm going to put Terrace up in B tier. Solar. Can we still like that after everything Dr. Disrespect? Is it okay if we still like Solar? I think it goes up in A tier. I really think it belongs up here. I almost said shout out Dr. Disrespect, but Skyrise, this is a high-rise remake, right? I didn't play that. That wasn't S&D, so I'm not going to rate that either. Riot was definitely an S&D map, but it was a C-tier S&D map, so it's going right there. Drift was search and uplink, and this one has like an avalanche that happens partway through the map. Pretty cool. And that lands it in the C-tier because it's not that good. Detroit, that's a good map. That's going A or B. I think I'm going A, actually. I'm honestly surprised how many Advanced Warfare maps ended up kind of at the top. For a COD that's admittedly not my favorite, some of the maps are pretty solid. Comeback's decent, but nothing to write home about. It's B tier. Biolab's a decent map, but I'm confident putting that in B as well. I don't think it's made it up to the A point. Hardpoint played decently, but being able to shoot those explosive acid things that just blew everybody up was kind of cheese. So Ascend, that's that rainy map that has that underground part, right? Ascend stays in C. So Advanced Warfare, not my favorite jetpack COD. As a matter of fact, my least favorite jetpack COD. Some of the maps are good, but the game itself is a C. It's a C tier COD. Lag compensation, you would just die so far around walls. The movement felt clunky. I can't be too mad because it was the first jetpack COD. There's no way they could have gotten it perfectly on their first attempt, but as a whole, Advanced Warfare is going C tier. Ghosts. I'm going to look into the camera as I say this. The best search and destroy Call of Duty to date. Nothing that will hit like competitive S&D and COD Ghosts. Nothing's come close. How can I just lie like that with a straight face? It's the truth. Sovereign, we're off to a bad start. What I said earlier, I still stay true to it, but Sovereign is admittedly not the best search and destroy map, so it's still landing itself in B tier. It's still a good map at its core. Here's where we take a complete 180. Warhawk. COD Ghost Warhawk. Could it be our first S tier? It couldn't. It's A. Don't flatter yourself. You have the infamous attach clip.
Don't risk that. You can't wallbang it! You can't wallbang it! What are you doing? Attach! Are you a attach? You couldn't Dude, attach just choked.
Okay, Octane. Insta-lock A. Octane is a very good map. Strike Zone. Ghost Strike Zone. I know this is just a Dome remake, but it's still good, and it played really well in the context of Ghost. So I don't think I can put it up in A tier. It's definitely a solid B. And it also played pretty well for Domination. And Blitz. I forgot Blitz was a game mode in Ghost. You would just teleport back to the spawn. Warhawk Blitz was one of the better ones. My favorite map from COD Ghost was Freight. I loved Freight. And for that reason, it's going in A. Being able to shoot the gate off spawn and flank underground was really cool. The fact that you could lay down on the train tracks made it a really cool way to watch crosses and play for information. I love Freight. Freight's a great S&D map. And it played really well for Blitz too. There's that clip of Scump with the Vector going crazy on Freight.
Let's see if they can hold this as they did have two, and that's exactly what you need when you have two down. Scumpy get two. Getting it through there, three. Oh my God!
Just absolutely ruined them. And Scump's going to go through this door. They are going to get a respawn in time, but he's going to get another one. Scump is still going. He gets the other one. He gets it.
Also, Scump watched me play a S&D game on Freight.
Lunchables, the great white shark, smells the blood. He knows he's somewhere around here. You see him peeking all over the place. He's going to run into him here. Peace out. Girl Scout, Lieutenant Lunchables wins the 1v1.
My prize for winning that tournament was getting to play against Scump in 2v2s. Scump shit on me. No.
Let's go, baby.
For whatever reason, that was my prize. Ghost, competitively, a way better COD than most of you might think. Domination in a competitive sense is just not it. So we're going B, maybe B+. Last, but definitely not least, is Black Ops 2. We have not seen a single S tier map. Here's where that changes. With the very first map, Standoff. Black Ops 2 Standoff is an S tier map. You can't disagree with that. Everything about this map, the way that it's laid out, the way that spawns were super predictable in Hardpoint, how it plays for S&D, all three modes back then with CTF as well. This is just a great overall map. And the fact that it was remastered in multiple CODs, I don't think it was just Cold War. There might have been another one. Just goes to show how great that map is. And same thing with Raid. Raid's going up there in the S tier. Raid and Standoff, without a doubt, S tier competitive maps. And now we get into a little bit of the crazier ones. Yemen I actually likes for Hardpoint. Admittedly, it's not the best map of all time. I think Yemen's a solid B tier pick. Slums is a really good map, but is it Standoff and Raid good? Slums is a good map, but is it S tier good? It is. That's the answer. It straight up is. In the context of Black Ops 2, Hardpoint on this map, undefeated. Meltdown for S&D. The map didn't play that bad for S&D. It's still B tier. Maybe a little bit lower. And the last map, we're ending it off with a bang. Aftermath. Can we just pretend like that one didn't happen? Black Ops 2 is an S tier competitive Call of Duty. And that's all the CODs Black Ops 2 and up. That's all the maps Black Ops 2 and up. I'm happy with that.